So what I'm going to do is, right off the get-go, when we start working on alignment, we want to make things consistent. So let's pick out so regardless if we're hitting a wedge shot or if we're hitting an iron shot, let's just pick out a target line right now. So what looks good to you out here? Does the green flag or the white flag look better to you visually? Okay, so we're going to make these at the green flag, and what I like to do is I like to place a ball down. And then I want 2 alignment sticks, one on the outside of the ball, one on the inside of the ball, kind of to give us that train track effect and let us feel that our shoulders and our hips are square to this. And we know that if our club face is aligned perpendicular to these sticks, we're set up for success. And we know it's not closed or open or anything like that. On the green, we have 2 pins. One pin is at 125, one pin is at 140. The one pin at 125, you kind of want to fly it about 120, 125. So for you, what is that strategy? Let's talk about club selection here.
Honestly, I want to fly it a little farther because I always spin it back.
Okay.
I know my PhD, I spun my pitching wedge back and it came almost off the front, so I wanted to carry it probably just a little past the hole.
Okay, so you're thinking maybe 125, 130?
Yeah, I was just going to choke down on a pitching wedge.
Okay, that's perfect. And then, so for here, just so you know, like missing it right is perfectly fine. Like if we take on the pin and we miss it right, that's fine. We don't want to miss it left, and we don't want to miss it short. So that's perfect. What I want to see from you is I want to see you go through your routine that we talked about on the range. I want to see you just get set up, and I want to see you just hit the shot. Play it how you normally would, but I do want to see you go through your routine, and then we'll talk about the performance and talk about the evaluation. What I'm just going to start off with is one thing that I like to always check when we're working on short game is our alignment. Your feet necessarily don't have to be straight in a straight line. I mean, they could be open and a little bit closed. That's really preference. But what I really like to look on is your shoulder line and your club face angle, because the club face isn't opening and closing so much with these short strokes. You want to make sure that it's square to dress, so that way when you're keeping it kind of that square to square putting motion, that it does stay actually square. So I'm going to grab an alignment stick and we're going to double check that in a second. Like I talked about, getting a good tempo with your backstroke and your through stroke is essential to having good speed with putts. So one thing that I really like to use is called a metronome. And I'm obviously a millennial, so I like to use technology a little bit. And just for your information as an advanced player, when you use this in your practice, the standard beats per minute is about 60, so it's 1 beat for every second. But for me, I like to take it down a little bit and go a little bit slower. With 60 beats a second, it kind of just speeds things up, and it can lead to a little bit more inconsistency because you're going a little bit quicker. So I like to break it down to about 50 to 55 just to have that little bit of time in between. So we're going to start off at 50 beats per second. You're going to hear the tick, tick, tick. What I want you to do is match your backstroke with your follow through on those ticks. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get that going. As you can hear, it's tick, tick, tick. Now just match that up with your stroke. We're always concerned about line, but here we're just worried about pace. So if you miss it high or low, don't worry about that. For you, it's when you have something to get lined up to and you designate that, your alignment is really good. I mean, your feet are really square to that, and so are your shoulders. So you don't have a problem getting lined up properly when you actually choose to do that. So maybe, would you agree that maybe on the course you just step up and hit it, not necessarily picking out a spot or really thinking about it?
I wouldn't say that. I would say I'm more aimed to the right than anything.
Okay.
I probably think I'm aimed up good, but I aim right.
Okay.
More than anything.
Okay, that's fair. And so let's come up with a solution for that on the course and here. Okay. So we're going to go through I'll give you an idea and we'll go through the process here, and then I want you to take that out onto the course.
Okay.
Later. So one thing that I find really, really useful and really successful with as far as alignment and getting lined up properly is I like to come behind the ball and pick out where I want this ball to start. Mm-hmm. So like if I'm going to hit a cut, obviously it's going to be left of the target. If I'm going to hit a draw, it's going to be right of the target. So right now, let's say we want to we're just trying to hit it straight. If it cuts a little bit, if it fades a little, if it draws a little bit, that's fine. But we're just trying to get it started on line. So what I like to do is, our target is the green flag. So I'll take my club, line up the ball and the green flag, and then find a point about 4 inches in front of the ball. And for me, after doing that, it's right there. And I know we have these right here, so it's kind of, it's a little bit easier, but still going through the process of finding even a smaller point line up to, even with these, is going to help you on the course because it's going to become part of your routine.